Hello Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of March 26th through April 1st. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I'm providing. Okay. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you, and here is the Three of Swords, the nasty old Three of Swords. Well, let's put that into some context, okay? It might not be that bad. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I do this, I want to just say that if there's anything that I can pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay, I read every comment. So continuing with our Dove and Serpent spread, interesting energy. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And we're going to not look at this card until the very end of the reading. There we go. And hopefully it'll tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of things. Okay, so you do have to stick around to the end. So, let's see, major arcana, swords and cups. Then we've got some more cups, a little bit of fire, and some more majors. Okay. We don't have a lot of earth energy. The earth seems to be absent. So that could mean a couple of things. Could mean that we need to bring some of this spiritual energy that's, I think, coming in through our mind, through our mental energy. Bring it down to a practical, grounding kind of energy. You know, put it to practical use somewhere. But let's start at the beginning with this Three of Swords. And I do apologize. I'm still recovering from this COVID virus. My family and I finally succumbed to COVID over the last weekend, and we're still recovering. So please bear with me. We got the Three of Swords here. I feel like you're the type of person that doesn't really forget when they've been mistreated, when you've been wronged, when you've been taken advantage of. I feel like you're not someone who is ever going to forget that. You may sort of forgive people, but you're not going to forget. And certainly if the same thing starts to happen again, if you give someone a second chance and they come in with the same kind of energy, well, you still remember what happened last time. So you're not going to allow a repeat of that, you know? I almost feel like you hold on to things pretty deeply, you know, for quite a long time. I feel like it's difficult for you to really let go of something like that when you've been mistreated, when you've been wronged, when you've been taken advantage of. It affects you deeply. It really does. We see a lot of water here on kind of the lower half of the spread. You're holding on to a lot of emotions. And I think that you still have this particular incident, this particular tower event from the recent past, that's still fresh in your mind. It's still lingering. It's still affecting you. I don't think it's something that you're going to get over anytime soon. Okay? I think that you are aware of how these kinds of things affect you. You're aware that you hang on to things for a long time. And sometimes you can't really help but to go over these things in your mind again and again, kind of relive them, ruminate on them, you know? I feel like that's the part here that we have to let go of, right? You can still feel how you feel. You can still be pissed off at this person, and you can still, you know, be kind of ready and waiting for them to come and try again, right? But what I think we're talking about this week is to give ourselves a mental break from it. You we go from a 3 to a 2. It says, okay, we've got all this activity. We keep going over these things. We keep reliving this event. Let's just take a time out. Let's pump the brakes on that. Let's have a little bit of mental repose. Right? Let's try to relax. Let's try to let go of some of these things mentally. Mentally. Let's talk about what happened, though. We have the Tower energy in the recent past. This could be somebody with a P for their first or last name, initial. I feel like they really did you kind of wrong. They maybe ended what you thought was a very happy relationship. We see in the position of the relationships, the Three of Cups, this thing seemed perfect to you. It seemed every day was a celebration. So why did it kind of blow up? Why did it kind of blow up? This could be through some kind of infidelity or deception or dishonesty on their part, It could be that this other person maybe felt too contained, because the Tower sometimes is talking about an escape, right? That they just were trying to keep it together, but the pressure became too great. And the situation blew up. The relationship blew up. Okay. This could be, though, talking about how this maybe is a bit of a blessing in disguise for you. Okay. It could be that this relationship that you were in, now, it feels romantic because of all these cups, all this water energy, right? But it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be a very meaningful relationship, a very emotional situation, right? Could still be platonic, could still be professional and work-related even. Okay, it doesn't have to be sexual romantic. The cups here are indicating that it's a very emotional situation. Okay, so we're going to try to be delicate. I feel like the Tower energy might be indicating that this relationship was kind of building walls around you. That it may have been containing you more than you realized. So by this thing ending, and I really do think that you've been wronged by this person, that they maybe ended things, that somehow the relationship just kind of blew up. Right? Something happened, there was a big argument or something. And it's gone. But I feel like as time goes on, you're going to experience this as a release, as a relief, that you have kind of dodged a bullet here. Okay. And I say that for a few reasons, but first and foremost, because the Tower energy is a sudden and tremendous release of energy. Boom, explosion, right? Well, what comes after that kind of release is calm, is a relief of that pressure, And if we think of this Tower as some big walls, really tall walls around us, it's kind of been containing you, right? Holding you back, holding you in. Up above everything, we see the Emperor. So I wonder if this person that you were with was a little bit dominating, a little bit controlling, was almost like keeping you locked up in this Tower. Right? Now, I hope not literally. If you're in any kind of danger, please call the authorities. Right? I feel like spiritually or energetically, you've been contained by this person. So whatever their reason for leaving, for for pulling the rug out, for kind of blowing up this relationship, well, thank God they did. Right? I think that you're in a much better position now, by the looks of things. Just looking at just these past, just the Four of Cups even, and the Tower and the Emperor, this area here, it doesn't look all that great. With the Four of Cups down beneath everything, I think you kind of knew that you were stagnating in this past relationship. You may not have felt that degree of containment or isolation or of, manipulation and control or, the domination, but you felt as if you were kind of stagnating a little bit. You weren't really fulfilling what you wanted. You weren't satisfied. You weren't spiritually or emotionally, active and pursuing your satisfaction, your fulfillment. You may not have realized that it was as isolating as this kind of, tower would be. But I think you're kind of coming to that realization now, perhaps through a lot of this thinking. You're analyzing kind of what happened. You're reliving it. You're going through the details. You're kind of ruminating on it. I think with the Two of Swords here, you're coming to that kind of an understanding. I think really with the two, you're coming to a wisdom about it. You're coming to see things really for what they really were and what their implications really were. So down beneath everything, with the Four, you knew deep down that things weren't perfect. Outwardly, the relationship, your life seemed like a celebration. Maybe it was literally every day was just fun and enjoyment and party and, but deep down, you were just you weren't really going anywhere. Now, maybe this is saying that you knew this relationship wasn't moving in a serious direction, that it was always just supposed to be kind of a temporary thing. There wasn't a lot of depth there, perhaps. Or there was a little bit of depth, but there was no movement, right? You were just kind of anchored, stagnating, right? There was no real direction. It wasn't really going anywhere. So we're coming to that realization through this air energy in the middle here. Now, in the immediate future, we see more air energy in the way of this Justice or Adjustment card. And this is the immediate future. This is kind of what we're hoping for. Okay, this is the ideal future, let's say. Not only is this your wish that this person will get what they deserve, right? You want karma to catch up to them. Okay, I think that speaks for itself. That's kind of an obvious one. I think you're also hoping for the kind of relationship that will be more balanced, that will be more respectful almost. I almost feel that there's a lack of respect in this last one. I almost feel like there was a lot of this kind of oppressive energy coming, especially through these two here. This just is some really kind of nasty energy. I feel like it was just very controlling, very manipulative. And I feel like it's affecting you. It's something that you're spending a lot of time thinking about. Okay? And I can feel that. I can feel that. I like where we're going in the future. Looking at the path of the dove here, this is all not that great. Right? We're still processing this experience. But moving into the future, when we get this, just the color kind of changes. It's yellows and reds and oranges, and then we go into this kind of yellow and green, and then we're starting with the blues. And we do the green and blues again here, all the way up until we're this bright shining sun at the end. So just looking at the color spectrum here, it's a nice transition. And we're transitioning by way of this Justice or Adjustment card. This is you, I think, letting go of the situation, right? Just chalking it up to another experience for you from which you can learn, increase your wisdom and understanding of things, of yourself, of life, of other people, etc. And this is your kind of ideal future, finding this connection with somebody that is fair and balanced and respectful, reciprocating, that is equal, that the two of you have a common interest, a common ground, common goals, a future together that the two of you can go after, And that's why this card is holding this central sword. That is the shared purpose. That is the overall truth. And everything that we come across, every decision that we make, every experience that we have to weigh it against that central truth. That is the kind of fulcrum of this balance. To see, what is the value of things? How does it weigh when we measure it on that scale of our ultimate goals, ideals, our own truth, And I think you're looking for a person like this. You're looking for a partnership or a relationship like this. Okay. And I feel like this was not it. I feel like this past thing was not a balanced, fair, and respectful relationship. These scales were way out of balance. They feel like they were just really, really lopsided. Okay. But thankfully, we're done with this energy. Right? We're moving away from this energy, right? Because I think you have a lot of love to give. This is really you being a very affectionate person. This is you really wanting to shower someone with absolute love and affection and nurturing, and you really cherish the person that you're with. When it's warranted, when it's when it's accepted, right? I feel like there was so much, maybe just anger or just friction in this last one that you didn't feel the prompting to give your love in that way, to really be the affectionate, loving person that you are. It's not that you withhold it from people or that you kind of make this mental decision not to give people your love, but I think that when somebody really brings it out of you, when somebody is receptive to it, when they seem like they're on this kind of equal footing with you, it just kind of happens, right? It's just who you are, and it's how you express yourself in the right circumstances, the right relationship. You've got a lot of love to give. I think you're a very, very affectionate person. I think you're very, very confident in the way that you love people. And I think that if somebody is not receptive, not reciprocating, or there's this weird energy like we had in the past, this kind of just gets turned off. And it's not something that you really do by choice. It's just, it doesn't happen. It has to be the right situation, the right circumstances. So I'm trying to kind of move these cards further and further away, if you've noticed. I'm trying to kind of get them out of sight, out of mind. Because what we see on the path of the Serpent is really wonderful stuff. And also with this Justice or Adjustment card, I feel like you are making the choice. You're making the choice to move away from this stuff over here and that person over there. Making the choice. The two, let's do this. Put the Two of Swords on top. Making the choice to be done with that. Okay. Now you know what you want, you know what you don't want. You know what that kind of mutual affection, respectful, reciprocating, equal relationship looks like. True partnership. And you've got a lot of the love to give to that kind of a situation, And we already talked about the Three of Cups. This really is it. I mean, the two and the three, these cards might as well be the same, right? They even kind of look the same. There's a lot of love and a lot of affection that can be expressed in the right circumstances for you. In the right environment, you have a lot to give. You really do. I think that you are an intensely affectionate and loving and generous person. I really do. And I'm happy that we've gotten out of this. I'm happy that this tower has blown up and you've escaped. Okay? Because I think there's freedom in that. I think part of your worry is that you are going to return to the same type of relationship again, that maybe you habitually get involved with the same type of people, this fiery energy, who we saw on the path of the dove, right? I think that that's part of your concern, is that you're just going to end up with somebody exactly the same as this last person again. You know? I think you have to rely on your judgment, your kind of higher judgment, your spiritual guide, to keep yourself from doing that. And of course, this is a risk because, you know, when we've done a certain thing, even just one time, makes us more likely to do that thing again, right? Just, it's how the brain works, I think. So when we do something more than once, twice, 5 times, 10 times, it's even more easy and easier and easier and easier to do that same thing again. So this is a legitimate concern, you know, that you're going to just get back involved with what you already know, what's already familiar. You know, that pathway that we've already made in our brains. Sometimes it's easy to just fall in that same kind of path again. We have to use our judgment to keep us from doing that, because what we see ultimately for you is freedom. Okay? This is the freedom outside that tower. Outside of that relationship, you didn't know that it was sunshine and clear blue skies and warm weather and freedom and just fun and, you know, spontaneity and joy and love and all of these warm, happy things. You know, maybe you were in this kind of dark tower for a little while. And to be free of that is a relief, you know. It is a relief. And I think once you start looking at it that way, you'll see that you really dodged a bullet here, because it's the weather's really nice out here. You know, welcome to the world. It's beautiful here. And I think that this freedom to be yourself, to express yourself, to be in control of your life, to be you, fully radiant and shining and expressive, and not to have to contain yourself, not to have to dim your light, not to have to hide who you are, or any of these other manipulation techniques or controlling tactics from this past thing. Out of here. Get out of here. Any future relationship is going to have to meet you equally on this kind of solar spiritual level. And I'm very excited for that. I don't want you to let go of that, because I think that is the standard by which you're going to judge any kind of future relationships. Is does this situation allow you to be you? It's kind of that simple. Can you be yourself? Can you let your true self shine with this person in this situation? If the answer is no, it's another tower. It's another tower. Let's look at the mystery card. I don't know what this is. Maybe an Empress. I don't think Empress, though. And we already had a lot of Cups energy. You know what? I don't know. I can't get a read on what this is going to be. I can't get a read on this. It might be more water, to be honest with you. Since I can't really see what it is, I'm just going to say it's going to be more water, because I think that would be the irony. We had a lot of water already here. Just get out all the water that we've had. I guess we haven't had too much. Right, we had a decent amount of water. So maybe it would make sense for this to be more water. Okay, we had the 2, 3, and 4 of Cups. Maybe we do a 5 of Cups, maybe 6 of Cups. Let's find out. Oh, okay, well, Hanged Man. So it is more water. Now, with the Hanged Man, I think that it is, for one thing, it's a reversal of circumstances. So it is almost it's almost that freedom that we were talking about. We were locked up in that tower. Now through this Hanged Man energy, really it is through this experience, through this explosion, through this, the upset, the friction, the conflict, just the bad feelings and all of this mental stress that you're going, everything on the path of the dove. Through that kind of trouble, you are experiencing freedom. Right? We're flipping it around. We're getting to the other side. Through that tower energy, through that destruction, you are experiencing this rebirth, this solar energy, this freedom, this release. So I really think that with the Hanged Man here, this is a necessary difficulty for you. And I don't like that you're going through this difficult situation. I know it doesn't feel good, but it has a good purpose. There's a good reason for it. I think on the other side of it, that solar energy, all of this water energy, all of this good water energy from the path of the serpent, you're kind of being washed clean of all of this negativity, and you're re-emerging as this kind of solar being, this star. And I think that's freedom. That's freedom to be yourself. That's freedom to be with who you want to be with. Be in the kind of relationship that you want. Be as fulfilled as you could possibly desire, So this is a necessary descent into the difficulties, into the rough kind of emotional waters, in order to be washed clean and be reborn. So the Hanged Man, I think it's pretty appropriate. And we're changing our circumstances. We're reversing the circumstances. We had the Emperor, we had the Tower, it's very fiery energy, right? We're reversing that. We're going from that kind of oppressive, that dominated, that controlling kind of relationship. We're reversing that into something that is going to be free and loving and beautiful and respectful and reciprocating and, bright. I think this is appropriate. Anyway, we're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right up here. You can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your weekly reading, March 26th through April 1st on Dove and Serpent Tarot.